Imagine being able to rewatch your favorite TV show with your best friend, who has literally never seen an episode before. That's our premise, and what we hope will set us apart from the other Office podcasts you may have stumbled across. So welcome to Bears Beats Bobbleheads, Talkin' Office, the podcast where three brave souls discuss every episode of The Office, from pilot to finale, and we get a fresh reaction from someone who has just watched the episode for the very first time in their life only hours before. Enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to Bears Beats Bobbleheads Talking Office. And we are, as far as I'm aware, the only Office podcast to feature a co-host who is watching the episode we're discussing the day of recording. That is our gimmick here. And gentlemen, we have crossed the Rubicon, and we are now into season 2 of The Office after finishing the first 6 episodes, all of season 1. Let's revisit our favorite moment from season 2, episode 1, The Dundies, which was first aired September 20th, 2015, and written by Mindy Kaling and directed by Greg Daniels. Joe, what was your favorite moment of The Dundies?
There's a lot of moments in this episode for me, but I think for the podcast, I'm going to go for kind of like the lowbrow humor. It's Phyllis winning the busiest beaver award, and her trophy is the bushiest beaver.
Nice. Paul, what about you?
Mine was when Michael Scott comes out in the hood and he's trying to do OPP. And it's not even a karaoke track. Like, the lyrics are playing behind him. And he's getting all messed up. He's like, move the cue cards. Move the cue cards. Whatever. The joke landed.
Joke landed. Yeah, that was a great moment. And I'm excited to talk about this different Michael Scott. So we're going to definitely get into that. I want to know how your impression going from season 1 to season 2, Michael Scott. My favorite moment was also during the ceremony, because there are so many to choose from. But I almost went with bushiest beaver, but I ended up going with the hottest in the office, because I just thought Michael, like, serenading Ryan as he's coming and trying to grab the award was just, every time I watch it, I laugh so hard.
Yeah, his infatuation with Ryan is getting a little creepy at this point.
Just a little bit.
All right, well, let's dive into the Dundies, shall we? So we open with Michael in his office hyping up the Dundie Awards and what they mean for office morale. They prevent suicide, apparently, according to him.
And how he describes it is, you're talking to your neighbor. Oh, hey, did you get an award at work? No. Oh, what's that smell? Oh, he hung himself.
Pam is talked into watching old VHS recordings of past Dundee ceremonies in order to compile a highlight reel or something.
Yeah, and she has that moment, like, oh, this is when Kevin just sat in front of the camera all night. It's like Michael's doing a parody of Mambo Number 5.
Oh, that was so painful.
Always finger on the pulse of pop culture with Michael Scott.
Michael learns from Jan that corporate will not be funding the Dundies ceremony because they are only paying for one party a year, and Michael had already spent it on the 050505 party.
Well, it only happens once every billion years.
Let's not forget the tsunami fundraiser.
Oh.
Michael introduces a character loosely based on Johnny Carson's Carmack. It's the same exact character.
It's the same.
Yeah, this episode's great because we get two of Michael's characters, and one is the straight up rip off of Karnak.
Yes, we'll be definitely talking about the other one for sure when the time comes. But yeah, this is kind of Michael's. He's not afraid to appropriate anybody's humor and act like it's an original thought or semi-original thought.
Yeah, that was pretty apparent. I mean, I've already caught that he's shameless in that.
We learn that Pam is the annual winner of the longest engagement Dundie. Seeing how much this bothers her, Jim approaches Michael about maybe not doing it this year.
Yeah, he calls it lazy, comedy, which it is, and that just seems to really upset Michael. He's already having a bad day. Corporate's not paying for the party. There's no open bar. And now Jim's telling him his writing is lazy, so he's taking it pretty personally.
Yeah, and it's, at first he's not responded to. He's like, oh, it's a great joke, blah, blah, blah. And Jim is trying really hard because he knows this bothers Pam, and that's what he has to eventually connect to with Michael is it's a lazy joke at this point, and that's what he had to do.
So Dwight is busted sneaking into the ladies' room by Phyllis, who just unloads on him.
Yeah, and his response to this and the joke on the wall is to ban the women from their own bathroom.
We're gonna have this room.
Yeah, because if you can't behave like ladies, then you will not have a ladies' room.
Yeah. So funny. Like, this is just that authority. This is still carrying over here, like just Dwight, and any semblance that he can do to just take something over, he does it. Ugh, gets in my craw.
As soon as Michael hears about it, he just shuts it down right away, dude. Like, that's ridiculous. No. So every time Dwight has a moment where he's trying to exert authority, Michael just squashes it right away in front of everybody.
Okay, well, why don't we take our first break, and we will be back in roughly a minute, and we will talk about the Dundies ceremony proper for the second segment and all of the shenanigans that plays out there. We'll be back in a minute. If you're enjoying our Office podcast, be sure to check out Cast That Movie, the podcast where Paul and I, using our superhero aliases, revisit failed cinematic projects from the past. We discuss what went wrong, and then we try to fix the mess by going back in time and recasting the project with a cast we feel would have elevated the material. We also assign a new director/visionary. Because you can never have too much of a good thing, we also conjure up a dream project of something we would like to see made into a film, and we cast that as well. So find Cast That Movie on Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, or at our home at thejodown.blog. Welcome back to Bears Beats Bobbleheads Talking Office. We are talking Season 2, Episode 1, The Dundies, one of my favorite episodes. And we are now at Chili's for the annual Dundie Awards. Michael, our host, as you mentioned, Paul, kicks off the ceremony with a parody of Naughty by Nature's OPP.
It is so bad. Again,
he really goes for it, though.
He goes for it, and it would have worked, but the fact that the original lyrics are playing behind it is what killed me. I was just thinking, okay, they're doing karaoke at Chili's, and then the real lyrics come in. I'm like, no, they're not doing karaoke at Chili's.
It's a touch like that just makes the joke land so much more, because Michael wouldn't even get the karaoke. Of course, he's going to rap over the original lyrics.
You're right, and it's like, you're not going to out-rap Naughty by Nature. So
with cue cards. Yeah. I'm sorry, but with cue cards.
Right, in a dark, dimly lit restaurant. At Chili's. Which, fun fact here, that was not an actual Chili's, Paul. They found an old restaurant and dressed it up like a Chili's, got Chili's permission to call it Chili's, I guess, more or less. Then almost got in some hot water with them, and we'll talk about that later. Chili's was not too happy with how this episode played out at the end. But yes, we'll get into that in a bit. Anyway, Michael has apparently never met Stanley's wife, Terry, before.
Oh, God.
Holy shit.
Paul, you want to describe how that scene played out?
Oh, boy. So, yeah, sure, I'll handle this sensitive subject. So he's up there, and he's like, I thought this just bring friends and family. I did invite them. Where is she? The woman I'm holding my hands with, and it's a white woman. And Michael's just doesn't know how to respond. that he would have a white wife. It's so foreign to Michael.
We learn that Dwight is probably the world's worst comedy partner when Michael tries to include him in a bit about dating a girl from HR.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. There's so much cringe going on in this Chili's right now.
I just love how the joke is that she'd have him fill out all this paperwork, and Dwight's like, what, like an AIDS test? Like, Jesus,
Oh my God,
Dwight.
He fill out 6 hours worth of paperwork, like an AIDS test. Oh my God.
Roy and Daryl decide to bail, and Roy seemingly drags Pam out with him. We later see Pam and Roy argue in the parking lot, and she insists that she's staying. What does this peek into their relationship tell us, guys?
It's not a good relationship.
It's a shitty relationship. It's more like Roy makes Pam tag along and whatever. Yeah.
Phyllis wins the busiest beaver award, but one small typo changes everything, as you pointed out, Joe. Bushiest beaver.
Oh my God. For a character like Phyllis to get like this near pornographic Dundee to put up in her office.
So we meet Michael's highly offensive and super stereotyped Asian character, Ping. Paul, I want to get your reaction to Ping.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm not going to lie. I had to pause it and stand up for a minute because I was like, this is so uncomfortable. Like, this is so cringy. Jesus Christ. Because he's doing Ping in this Chili's, and it cuts to an Asian woman behind him, for fuck's sake. Holy hell. Yeah, that was something. I was just like, whoa, they went there.
And the look on her face. Holy shit.
And for him to drop the me so horny bit.
I know.
I was just like, holy fuck. So you're telling me this is a reoccurring character of Michael's?
Well, we don't want to spoil anything, but let's just say Ping is well known in his arsenal of characters. There's, definitely references to Ping in the future. But as I was watching this episode, I was watching with my wife, and I turned to her as soon as the Ping scene came on, which, of course we were both familiar with. And I'll admit, I laugh. I'm sorry, not sorry. I laugh. But I said to her, like, 'cause this was made in 2005, right? Like, there's no way. If this was made today, that they would be able to include that without getting canceled, right?
No, but the thing is, we're not laughing with Michael. And this is where the context comes in. We're laughing at Michael because it's so shocking at how oblivious he is.
Yes.
How offensive that is.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I will say that I think you could get away with it, not on network. You could get away with it on cable, but they would have to go farther on the jokes on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they could have had that. I think if you were doing it in this day and age, first of all, you wouldn't have gotten the me so horny. You wouldn't have gotten as far as me so horny.
Right.
And I think eventually you would have had her stand up and, like, slap him or do something. You know what I mean? Like, you'd have to take it further.
Right.
I think something like on FX, because shows like It's Always Sunny deals with comedy like this, where the joke is obviously on the idiots.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it could be made. NBC, no. FX, probably.
Right
yeah,
on.
I agree with Joe on that one.
Okay. I agree with you guys then. You convinced me. Moving on, Ryan wins Hottest in the Office Award. As I said, my favorite moment in the episode.
This is just it's creepy, and his infatuation with Ryan, and this is just kind of like a weird connection. He reminds me of Curl's character in Foxcatcher being infatuated with Channing Tatum, and I get like vibes like that from Michael.
Now, Paul, I am racking my brain here. Did we have any season 1 moments that you can recall where, obviously he, tried to bring Brian under his wing and, tried to show off in front of him? Or were there any moments that you can compare to this that build off of something that happened before? Or is this the first insight you're getting to this weird man crush Michael has on Ryan?
This is the first instance of the weird man crush. Yeah. Because, again, in the first season, there wasn't a whole lot of Ryan. And now I was kind of surprised. This came out of left field for me. I was like, what?
Oh, there's so much more to come. An increasingly intoxicated Pam introduces us to the concept of second drink.
I'm not going to lie. I'm guilty of second drink.
I am too, Paul.
Thank God.
Oh, yeah. We all are. We all are. A couple assholes at the bar decide to heckle Michael during his parody of Tiny Dancer, going so far as to throw food at him, and this promptly takes all of the wind out of his sails. Womp womp.
This was the first time, you guys, that I felt bad for the
Mhm.
Michael Scott character. It's taken 7 episodes for me to actually feel bad for the guy.
And that's important, right? That humanizes him more, and that was the intent. That was what they were aiming to do, is give him more relatable scenes. Because the times that you could or things went bad for him in season 1, it was all his own doing. Here, all he was doing was trying to, entertain his work party, and these two douchebags to start throwing food at him and heckling him. So yeah, that was purely intentional, and I'm glad you caught that.
Oh, yeah, I caught that.
Pam, now drunk, rouses Michael to continue with a little bit of assistance from Jim. I thought that was kind of a cool moment, just given the history between those two in season 1, that she was kind of the cheerleader to help him get over that episode with the douchebags at the bar.
Yes, and that was also a cool side of Pam to see, because, again, Pam, outside of joking with Jim, she doesn't have a whole lot to do, it looks like, with a lot of people in the office, and she seems very shy. And this was like a whole other side of Pam that, again, I didn't get to see in the first season.
I would just want to add that she starts getting like life in the party after Kevin is given the "Don't go in there after me" award, because Michael went into the bathroom after Kevin was in there, and it stunk really bad. So that's what his award is.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Kevin gets dunked on a little bit in this episode, doesn't he?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That's not an award you want to bring home.
No. Especially when you're sitting across from, I believe it's his fiancée, Stacy, I want to say is her name. It's an awkward prize to be given at your work party. So moving on, Michael seems to have taken Jim's note, because instead of longest engagement, Pam wins the whitest sneaker award, which she loved. She loved this. In her acceptance speech, Pam, again, super drunk, claims she feels God in this Chili's tonight.
Holy shit.
Classic line.
At first, I really thought like she wasn't as drunk as what she was. I thought she was trying to cheer Michael up. And then I get the acceptance speech, and I'm like, holy shit, she is hammered.
You did? Yeah. Did you catch her like sneaking drinks from other tables and stuff though? They were kind of built.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, she was like grabbing it right from people's tables. Like, are you going to finish that? And they're like full drinks.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm surprised I didn't catch that, because I was trying to catch everything. I didn't see this.
Hey, so Pam kisses Jim.
That is, it's it took it to another level. I think, at least for Jim in his mind.
I think it took it to another level with both of them, and I think again this just goes to show that this is what Pam has been wanting to do, and I'm surprised that they in the world of sitcoms, I'm surprised that they did it this early.
Pam falls off her stool.
And Dwight comes to save her.
He's a sheriff's deputy.
Volunteer sheriff's deputy, as Jim points out.
Yeah, he thinks he's having a seizure. He's taking off his shirt.
Yeah, which leads to like one of the classic moments of this episode. We find out Pam is now permanently banned from Chili's.
Yep, and that's what I was going to add on here, Paul. So I'd mentioned Chili's had an issue with this episode.
Yeah.
That is the issue. They did not like that Pam got wasted on, even it was a fictional branch of theirs. They didn't like that was something that looked like would fly at a Chili's, I guess. So that's why they have the guy come in on the end there and say she's banned and point out that they have a 2-drink max and that she was sneaking drinks off tables. So they had to ban a fictional character from Chili's in order to get Chili's blessing to use their name in this episode.
So, can I ask a serious question on this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are Pam and I the only two people that's ever gotten wasted at a Chili's?
I've never been to a Chili, so. But
I've never been to one either, actually.
I do have a follow-up to this whole Chili's thing because it came back to life in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Jenna Fisher on Twitter tweets a picture of her saying, "Should I go in?" And she's standing in front of a Chili's. This gets fans excited. It gets to the point, Chili's responds with, "We hope you felt God tonight." And on February 7th, 2017, they tweet, "Breaking, Chili's lifts permanent ban on Pam. Welcome her back to Jenny Chili's restaurant."
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I remember that happened. That is funny.
That is bizarre to me that Chili's was like, I mean, you guys have never been to a Chili's. It's nothing special, you guys. And I've been drunk at a Chili's. So I'm totally confused as to why Chili's had a problem with this.
Great, Paul. Now they're not going to sponsor this show either.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I mean,
That's
I
right.
wasn't drunk at a Chili's. It was Joe's Crab Shack.
Oh, no, now you're just digging us in a hole.
Yeah, next is Applebee's, and then Bubba Gump Shrimp, and then nobody will touch us. All of this shenanigans was worth it to Pam, the ban and all, because this was the best Dundies ever. Woo! How about that side of Pam, Paul?
It was an interesting side of Pam, and I just think it's because she didn't get the longest engagement award. She was just happy she got the whitest sneakers.
Well, the alcoholic beverages might have helped too.
Sure. Well, yeah, that too.
So as everybody is walking to their cars, Michael compliments Dwight in kind of a sweet little moment between those two. You pick that one up, Paul?
I did pick that one up. It's the first time I've ever seen Michael kind of encourage or be nice to Dwight, and I assumed that there had to be moments like that. Otherwise, Dwight wouldn't be such the sycophant.
We learned Pam was the one who wrote that stuff about Michael on the ladies' room wall, and now she thinks she feels kind of bad about it.
She's told not that she doesn't.
It's just the booze. Got her feeling all kinds of emotional, which actually brings us up to the big moment at the end of the episode. Pam to Jim, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, I thought something was going to happen there. And then she noticed the camera, and it drove me a little nuts. I'm like, what was the question? What was the question?
Mm-hmm. What do you think it was? Let's play a little game here. What do you think she was going to ask him?
I think she was going to ask him about the kiss.
Okay. Joe, do you have a theory?
I agree with Paul. I think she was going to ask him about that.
Maybe we'll never know, or maybe we'll find out in the next episode. Only time will tell. So that about does it, I think, for the Dundies. I think we covered all the big happenings in the episode. So we are going to take another break, and then we are going to come back, and we are going to give our takeaways. We are going to pick who we thought won the episode, and then Paul is going to let us know if either Jim or the Alliance are dethroned as his favorite character or episode. We will be right back.
Hi, I'm Paul Muad'Dib, one half of the group that does Podcasts Above a Convenience Store, Talkin Twin Peaks, where myself, along with Joe Fremming, dig into the Twin Peaks TV show, the movie, and the books, and the history. As a matter of fact, the latest one is going to be The Secret History of Twin Peaks. So if you enjoy the banter that we have here on the Office Podcast, be sure to check us out on Podcasts Above a Convenience Store, Talking Twin Peaks, which is on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, or you can find us at our webpage home, thejoedown.blog.
All right, welcome back to Bears Beats Bobbleheads Talking Office. We are talking Season 2, Episode 1, The Dundies. All right, so we've talked about the episode. Now let's talk about our takeaways and who we felt won the episode. Joe, start with you.
Oh, the winner of this episode for me, it's Michael. This for me, and it's because this is when I feel like this is the Michael Scott I know. and you know, and Paul's gonna get to know.
Mm-hmm.
He's just kind of different. Plus, again, just him going to his bungling at the trophy shop now, because Phyllis's bushiest beaver, and then like Kelly's spicy curry award, and it's a bowler. Makes me think that, the behind the scenes in my mind is like Michael really upset the guy at the trophy store.
Did you catch that Kevin's trophy was actually a dude squatting?
No, that's amazing.
That's awesome. Correct me if I'm wrong, did someone win the tightest ass award too?
Yeah, Angela. She refused to come take.
Angela won the tight ass award.
She's not only stickly or whatever, but she's got a great caboose. Oh, can't do that anymore, Michael.
HR.
Yeah, Toby's right there.
I don't think you could have done this in 2005.
I don't think you could have.
Okay, so my favorite. Damn it. Yeah, my favorite is Michael. I think this is like 4 in a row now that I've agreed with you out the gate here, Joe. But absolutely, this is a far better Michael than we were exposed to in season 1. And yeah, the episode as a whole, it was really nice getting them out of the office, something we didn't really get to experience in the first season. The closest we came was down in the warehouse. So to get them out in a different location, some of their best episodes take place outside of the office. Spoiler alert, Paul. This is one of them. So absolutely a great episode to kick off the second season. All right, Paul, what about y'all?
So I'm going to agree with you guys that Michael is the winner of this episode.
Nice.
He had the funniest bits, and he was far more humanized in this one. Like, I don't feel bad in this episode saying that Mike won it.
And you have any other kind of takes on the episode?
I do. One thing that we didn't touch upon was I had mentioned it, and I was completely wrong about my prediction going out of the season 1 into season 2, which was now that Jim got with the hot girl, he was going to change. And he is like the most stand-up dude. I mean, here Pam kissed him. She's drunk. He's taking care of her the whole night. And he's not taking advantage of her in any way, shape, or form. Like, Jim is just a really, really good person.
Yes, he is. So where are we at then on our tally here? Is he still your favorite character, or has he been surpassed by Michael or somebody else?
No, he's still my favorite character. I think, I have a couple of episodes as to why I like Jim. So, I think it will take a couple episodes for someone else to overrun that position, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's totally fair. So then the big question, is the Dundies better than the Alliance?
Ooh. Yeah. I don't want to hurt your feelings here because I know this is your favorite episode. I still like the Alliance.
Okay.
A lot. I loved that whole thing where they were just pranking him the whole time. Jim and Pam, like, that is my kind of humor. I love that shit.
Nice. No, it doesn't hurt. I love both episodes, so it definitely doesn't hurt my feelings. And that's cool. That is still your favorite episode. I got to tell you, I think some very, very honest contenders are coming your way. This is just the first of many. Season 2's got a lot of highlights.
I'm excited. I am excited. If it continues to go this way, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with the show.
Yes, and it does. So anything else to add, guys? Any final thoughts before we say goodbye?
I think I'm good.
I think I'm good, except that we get to hold me tight. You have won a tiny Dundee.
You have won a tiny Dundee. All right, well, that will do it then for Season 2, Episode 1, The Dundies. And we are moving on to Season 2, Episode 2, Sexual Harassment. That will be next week. Until then, that is Joe, that is Paul, I am Scott, and we will be back next week for more Bears Beats Bobbleheads Talkin' Office. For more podcasts like this one and general pop culture tomfoolery, be sure to visit thejoedown.blog. That's thejoedown.blog.